Hello, and thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Archie Ponce, and I'll be your host. Our webinar today is If Something Happened Tomorrow, Would Your Family Be Ready? We appreciate you taking the time to join us today and expect the webinar to last approximately 20 minutes. Please feel free to send in any questions you may have during the presentation using the Zoom Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen. At the end of the presentation, we'll address as many of them as we can. I'll now turn it over to Paul Lightfoot.
Thanks, Archie. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. The purpose of this webinar is to help ensure your family has the information and guidance needed to navigate life's unexpected challenges. Many people spend years building their financial lives, but few take the time to prepare their loved ones for what happens if they're suddenly unable to manage things themselves. When we ask simple questions such as where important information is located, who would make decisions if needed, or whether family members know who to call, we often discover opportunities to help families become better prepared. Today, we'll discuss important documents of financial organization, families' responsibilities and decision-making, trusted contacts and advisors, and emergency and continuity planning. Our goal is to identify what's already working well and highlight practical steps that may make things easier for your family in the future. This isn't about planning for the worst. It's about creating clarity, confidence, and continuity for the people we care about most. We'll keep today's discussion focused on practical and actionable items. The webinar should last about 25 minutes, and we'll leave time at the end for questions. Before we begin, a few brief disclosures. This webinar is for educational purposes only. We will be discussing general planning concepts and strategies, not providing personalized tax, legal, or investment advice. If something we discuss raises questions about your specific situation, we encourage you to consult your financial advisor, tax professional, or estate planning attorney. Finally, this information is intended for everyone, not just our clients. If you find today's discussion valuable, please feel free to share it with friends, family members, or others who may benefit from reviewing their own preparedness planning. With that, let's get started. As we begin, I'd like to frame today's discussion around 3 simple questions that every family should be able to answer. These questions may seem straightforward, but they often reveal some of the biggest gaps in our family preparedness plan. First, would your family know where everything is? If an unexpected event occurred tomorrow, would the important documents, account information, insurance records, and other critical information be easy to locate? Second, would they know what to do next? Even when information is available, family members are often left wondering where to begin, what priorities need immediate attention, and what decisions need to be made. Third, would they know who to call for help? During stressful situations, knowing which family members, advisors, attorneys, accountants, or other professionals to contact can make a significant difference. We'll spend a few minutes discussing each of these questions and some practical ways to address them. After that, we'll review several simple next steps that can help improve your family's preparedness and reduce uncertainty during difficult situations. We'll then close with a reminder that preparedness is one of the most meaningful gifts you can leave your family. Not because it eliminates challenges, but because it can provide clarity and direction and support when the challenges arise. Finally, we'll leave time at the end for any questions you may have. Feel free to send your questions in at any time during the presentation, and we'll address as many as we can. Just click on the Zoom Q&A icon at the bottom of the screen to ask a question. Let's begin with the first question. The first question every family should be able to answer is, would your family know where everything is? One of the biggest challenges families face during an emergency is that important information may exist, but nobody knows where to find it. In many cases, the issue isn't that planning hasn't been done. State documents may have been drafted, accounts may be properly titled, insurance coverage may be in place, and important records may exist. The problem is that people who need the information often don't know where it is located or how to access it. When families are dealing with stress, uncertainty, or grief, searching through filing cabinets, emails, computer files, and online accounts can quickly become overwhelming. A good preparedness plan starts by organizing important information so that it is both secure and accessible to the appropriate people. There are three primary categories of information that families should consider. The first is legal and estate information. This may include wills, trust, power of attorneys, healthcare directives, insurance policies, and other legal documents. The second is financial and account information. This includes bank and investment accounts, retirement plans, income sources, recurring bills, debts, employer benefits, and other financial resources that may need attention. The third is digital and access information. As more of our lives move online, this area has become increasingly important. Families should consider how trusted individuals would access devices, password managers, two-factor authentication methods, cloud storage, online subscriptions, and other digital assets if necessary. One practical step many families find helpful is creating a family preparedness binder. This could be a physical binder, a secure digital vault, or a combination of both. The purpose isn't to store every document. Rather, it's to create a central roadmap that tells family members what exists, where it is located, and how to access if needed. A little organization today can significantly reduce confusion and stress for the people we care about most tomorrow. Knowing where everything is provides an important foundation, but even when the information is available, another question remains. Would your family know what to do next? The second question every family should be able to answer is, would they know what to do next? Even if your family knows where important information is located, another challenge often remains, knowing where to begin. We frequently see situations where one spouse handled most of the financial responsibilities. They paid the bills, managed the investments, coordinated with professionals, and maintained the family records. If that person suddenly becomes unable to manage those responsibilities because of a health event, disability, or death, the spouse or family members may be left wondering what needs immediate attention and what can wait. In the first few days following a major life event, families often need to contact family members and trusted advisors, access important documents, review cash flow and insurance information, secure accounts and digital access, and begin making certain financial and administrative decisions. The challenge is that these tasks are often taking place during a period of significant emotional stress. That's why preparation isn't just about gathering information, it's also about providing guidance. One practical step is to create a simple set of emergency instructions. Think of it as a roadmap that helps family members understand what actions may need attention first and where to find additional information. These instructions don't need to be lengthy or complicated. In fact, the simpler they are, the more useful they tend to be. The key is to keep them updated regularly, make them easy to access, and ensure they are written in a way that others can understand. Another important step is having periodic family conversations. Many families avoid these discussions because they feel uncomfortable or assume there'll be plenty of time later. However, even a brief annual conversation can be incredibly valuable. The goal isn't necessarily to share every financial detail. Instead, is to make sure key family members understand the big picture. They should know where the important records are kept, who the trusted professionals are, and what the overall plan is trying to accomplish. When families have this basic understanding, they're often far more prepared to navigate unexpected situations with confidence and clarity. Simple preparation cannot eliminate the challenges that come with difficult life events, but it can make those moments significantly more manageable for the people you care about most. Knowing what to do is important, but families also need to know who can help guide them through this process. The third question every family should be able to answer is, Would they know who to call for help? During difficult situations, having access to the right guidance can be just as important as having access to the right documents. When families are dealing with a serious illness, disability, or loss of a loved one, they are often faced with unfamiliar decisions and responsibilities. Knowing who to contact and what role each person plays can help reduce stress, avoid unnecessary delays, and prevent costly mistakes. Most families benefit from having what we might call a family advisory team. This is a group of trusted professionals and family members who can provide guidance and support when needed. Depending on your situation, this team may include financial advisor, CPA, estate planning attorney, insurance professional, trustee, executor, or other trusted family members who understand your wishes and can help coordinate responsibilities. One challenge we often see is that family members know these professionals exist, but they don't know who to contact first or what each person is responsible for. One practical step is creating a centralized key contact list that includes names, phone numbers, email addresses, and a brief description of each person's role. This information should be kept in a location that is secure but easily accessible to those who may need it. Another valuable step is introducing family members to key advisors before they are needed. It is much easier for a spouse, child, trustee, or executor to reach out during a difficult time if they've already met the professionals who will be helping them. Even a simple introduction can help build confidence. As you think about your own situation, consider these three questions. Who would step in if you're unable to handle things yourself? Who understands your family's financial picture? And who can help coordinate everything if the family needed assistance? Having clear answers to those questions can provide tremendous peace of mind and make a difficult situation much easier for the loved ones to navigate. Once you know where things are, what needs to be done, and who can help, the next step is putting those pieces into a simple and practical plan. So far, we've discussed three important questions. Would your family know where everything is? Would they know what to do next? Would they know who to call for help? The good news is that improving preparedness doesn't have to be complicated. Let's talk about a few practical steps that almost every family can take. The most effective preparedness plans are usually simple, organized, and easy for family members to understand. A useful way to think about preparedness is through three actions: organize, communicate, and update. First, organize. Create a family preparedness folder, binder, or digital vault that serves as a central resource for your family. Think of it as a roadmap that helps family members understand what information exists, where it is located, and how to access it if needed. This resource should include key documents, important contacts, and simple emergency instructions. The second is communicate. Even the best organized plan may not be helpful if nobody knows it exists. Take time to discuss family responsibilities, where important information is located, and who to contact for help. Whenever possible, introduce family members to key advisors before a crisis occurs so those relationships are already established. Finally, update. Preparedness is not a one-time project. Families, assets, laws, and responsibilities change over time. Review your preparedness plans periodically and update it after major life events such as marriage, retirement, the birth of a child, the loss of a loved one, or significant financial changes. As you leave today's discussion, remember this. The goal is not to create a perfect plan. The goal is to create a plan that your family can actually use. Simple preparation today can provide clarity, confidence, and direction for people you care about most when they may need it most. As we conclude today's discussion, I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Preparedness is one of the most meaningful gifts you can leave your family. Not because it eliminates challenges or prevents difficult situations from occurring, but because it can help reduce confusion, uncertainty, and stress when your loved ones may be facing one of the most difficult periods of their lives. Preparation is not about expecting the worst. It's about helping the people you care about feel supported if the unexpected happens. Throughout today's webinar, we've discussed 3 simple questions. Would your family know where everything is? Would they know what to do next? Would they know who to call for help? The encouraging news is that meaningful progress often comes from relatively small actions. You don't have to create a perfect plan overnight. Even organizing a few important documents, creating a list of trusted contacts, documenting emergency instructions, or having a simple family conversation can make a significant difference when it matters most. Organization matters, communication matters, and often the greatest benefit comes from giving your loved ones greater confidence and clarity during uncertain times. Remember, the goal is not perfection, the goal is progress. Each step you take today can make things a little easier for your family tomorrow. And perhaps more importantly, the best time to prepare is before your family needs a plan. The true value of preparedness isn't measured by the documents you create or the information you organize. It is measured by the confidence, clarity, and peace of mind it provides the people you care about most. If today's discussion highlighted areas where your family may benefit from additional planning, we'd be happy to schedule a time to talk. Thank you for spending time with us today. We appreciate your participation and hope you found the discussion helpful. If there's a particular situation you're thinking about, I'll do my best to provide general guidance. As a reminder, we won't be discussing specific legal, tax, or investment recommendations, but I'd be happy to address general preparedness concepts and planning considerations. As we wrap up today's webinar, I'd like to thank everyone again for taking the time to join us and participate in the discussion. Family preparedness is one of those topics that often gets pushed down the priority list because life is busy and there always seems to be something more urgent demanding our attention. However, a small amount of planning today can make a meaningful difference for the people we care about most tomorrow. We hope today's discussion has provided a helpful framework for thinking about your family's preparedness and highlight practical steps you can take to improve organization, communication, and continuity planning. As a reminder, today's presentation was provided for educational purposes only. The information discussed should not be considered personalized legal, tax, investment, or financial planning advice. Every family situation is unique. If you have questions regarding your specific circumstances, we encourage you to consult with your financial advisor, tax professional, estate planning attorney, or other qualified professionals. If you would like assistance reviewing your family's preparedness plan or identifying areas that may benefit from additional attention, we would be happy to schedule a conversation to discuss your situation.